One of the most critical decisions you're going to make in your build process is actually selecting the type of windows you want to use and how you choose to install them. And you don't want to improperly install them because it can lead to tons of expenses and additional costs on the back end. So hang with us in this video is I'm going to break down with you the exact window that we use on our shipping container builds and how to properly install them. So when it comes to windows, first I want to talk about general selection of windows when you're picking them. First of all, you have options to do up-down sliding windows, left-right sliding windows. These are going to be really important for rooms that require an egress. An egress is just a way of an escape or a way for someone to enter if they need to rescue you. And when you're doing those kinds of windows, the actual top of the window will need to be under 43 inches. And there's also requirements for the size of the opening of the window as well. So you do want to be careful to make sure that if it's going in a bedroom space, that you have an egress window. The other kind of window that you can do is actually a picture window, which I'm going to show you over here. Now, right here is an example of one of the picture windows that we have in this space. Of course, it's a non-operating window, so it's not going to create any ventilation, no way to escape through it. Now, I love these windows for the aesthetic look. Sliding windows are okay, but from the outside, they look kind of plain. And then from the inside, there's obstructions for your view because you got a slider. These kind of windows are my favorite, and I love to have these installed in key locations where you have amazing views that you want to capture. Right here, this is a 4x4 picture window. It's a pretty good size. My favorite style picture windows are typically the ones that are 6 foot by 4 foot, and then we place at the very end of the container. They're amazing because they just open up that entire space and allow you to enjoy amazing views of nature or wherever your setting is. Now, when it comes to the type of construction of window, you'll have a few different options. Right here, this is a nail fin window. So it's got a fin all the way around the perimeter of it. Another type of window is called a retrofit window. These are usually replacement style windows, but people do use them in container homes where you'll actually install them from the outside in. So right from the outside of the container, you install those types of windows. And then there's block frame windows. They don't have a fin. They don't have a frame on the exterior. They're just a simple block. And they just slide into your steel tube framing, and then you install them to the side of your metal framing there. Now, we've tried all of those windows and have learned the hard way the right ones to use, right? Like early on, we used retrofit windows, and they worked okay, but it was hard to finish them out on the exterior. And sometimes we'd have water that would come off the top of your container right in behind that front fin of the window. So after that, we switched to block frame windows. Now, the issue with block frame windows is it was getting very difficult to seal around the perimeter of the window between the metal frame and the window itself. And it's for that reason that we have now shifted to nail fin windows. Now, these are basic windows, the nail fin windows. You can go to Lowe's and Home Depot and pick these up. They're traditionally used in stick build applications, and they're usually installed from the exterior. Now, one of the things that we do that's very different is we do not install them from the exterior for a container home. We install them from the interior. So we take these nail fin windows, we push it into the metal frame, and you can see here all the metal self-tapping screws that are attaching it. What you can't really see is right here, you can see it a little bit, is the OSI Quad Max sealant that we used. Now, finding the right kind of sealant to use for our windows was a journey. We always had people saying, hey, this is the best sealant, this is the best sealant. But the truth is we always had issues. We'd ship a unit or be in a different climate and that sealant would always be cracking. And so we've been very happy with OSI Quad Max, and we use it on everything we do. So we apply that sealant to the inside of the fin, we press it, giving it a nice good seal, apply our screws, and then we actually come back over the top of it once again with additional OSI sealant. We really want to make sure everything's sealed up. And that is just how we do it from the inside. But I want to take you to the outside and show you a couple other things. Now, from the outside, there's two really important things to note. One thing that we're going to do is we're actually going to take some black OSI Quad Max and put it around the perimeter of this window just to add an additional seal. Now, when you're installing your windows, small side note, right here are your weep holes. Make sure you install it where your weep holes are at the bottom. Just had to throw that in there. But one of the important things I want to show you here is just how snug our window is within our window frame. You can see here, if you look really closely, this gap right here is probably about 1/8 of an inch. So when we're making our RO for our window, our rough opening for the window is a 1/4 inch, it's about 1/8 of an inch larger all the way around the window. Now that's a really tight fit, but the benefit of that is it allows us to seal this up and not have issues with water getting in. Now, one last thing I want to show you here is our drip edges that are on these as well. So we have these little metal drip edges that get prefabricated to the size of the window, and then our welder comes in and welds it up top. The big benefit of doing this with your window installation is it's going to prevent any water from the top of your container where all the water from the top sheds down the sides. If you don't have a drip edge, that water can pile up there on the very top, or it can just all run down the face of your window, and that just makes it a prime location for leaks. Eventually, you're going to have issues. So by adding a drip edge, all the water is going to get kicked off, and that water is not going to be coming in through the windows. And also, on the same note, we do this for the doors. So like right here is going to be the entry door. We have this drip edge up here, because what you don't want is at the top up here, if you don't have a drip edge, that water will come down. It'll come right down the face of this tube steel, and it'll come back. So we've had this happen a number of times. It rains, the water comes back in from the tube steel, and it wants to find a way in above your door. So add a drip edge above your entry door, really important, and it prevents water from getting inside of your unit. Well, I hope this information was helpful. Hopefully it's gonna help you navigate container construction. Now, if you're a DIYer, or maybe you're a builder and you want more information on how to properly build container homes, make sure to check out our free online training. It's our container home building workshop. I've linked it in the description below. Inside of it, we reveal some of our biggest trade secrets to help you succeed. Well, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.